All right, good afternoon now, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We have Ellis Brooks here. So if you have a question, as always, please use the raise your hand function and we'll come over to you. So we'll start with Rich Garcella. Rich, I think you're muted. There you go.
I'm good. Okay, here we go. Hey, thanks, Ellis, for doing this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
How would you compare and contrast the Ohio State offense with the Illinois offense in terms of scheme and personnel?
Well, in the Illinois game, we saw a formation that we weren't entirely introduced to previously, and they used that a fair amount, I would say. But other than that, what they tended to be was 11 personnel, and that's usually where Ohio State likes to live, is 11 personnel, 12 personnel. So in terms of personnel sets, they can be somewhat similar, and there's some translation. But as stated previously, because of the other things, there's obviously some difference.
Johnny Collins.
Hey, Ellis, how often does that happen where you guys run into a scheme that you didn't prepare for and hadn't seen before from a team? And what kind of challenges, what were the specific challenges that presented for you this week or last week?
I feel like those two answers go hand in hand. I feel like it's common coming off of a bye week that people might work on some things that they haven't put on film previously. So I feel like that's kind of the main time that situation shows up, when you don't have that. When teams have time to prepare on something that they haven't put on film and break tendencies. So just coming off that bye week.
John Sauber.
Ellis, with that sort of, I guess, jumbo 12 personnel, if you want to call it that, what was your reaction when you first saw it? And then were there any adjustments now that you've had the benefit of watching the game that you wish the defense would have made?
I mean, there's obviously, whenever there's any games, there's things you can look back and say, things I wish I could have done better, wish we would have done, switched up. But it is what it is at that point. But my first reaction when I saw it was just trying to get everybody lined up to it properly, ID strengths, whatever they were trying to do, that, you know what I'm saying, this out of third.
Max Ralph.
Ellis, thanks for your time. Coach Franco just told us that, Mondays, he likes to call them culture days, especially coming out off of a loss like the one on Saturday. How did you kind of handle yesterday, and discussions with teammates? How did those go?
I feel like we have a strong group, a strong locker room. Everybody's keeping their morale up, keeping their spirit up, ready to fight, ready to go to work. Everybody's in there getting film done, rehab, getting their bodies right. So just attacking that day, trying to win that day, win each day, so that Saturdays take care of themselves.
Daniel Galen.
Hey, Ellis. CJ Stroud looks like a quarterback who's really kind of gotten his feet under him and come along this year. And kind of the early going on tape, what have you kind of seen from that Ohio State offense and Stroud in particular?
They try to stretch the field. He has obviously weapons at his disposal, and they're an athletic group. They're fast. We're gonna have to be on our A game. Great week of preparation.
Rich Garcella.
Ellis, what are your recollections of the game at Ohio Stadium 2 years ago, and how excited are you to play in an environment such as that?
I'm super excited. My last time there, it was a good game. But yeah, I can't wait for Saturday, get back in the shoes. I know it's going to be a great environment, a great team we're playing against, primetime football. It's going to be a great experience for sure.
Johnny Collins.
Ellis, how have you seen the younger defensive tackles kind of develop in front of you with since PJ's been out?
They've been working hard, taking coaching to the fullest, practicing their butts off. Everybody's just trying to get better, especially that group right now with the loss of PJ. It's just trying to get 1% better every single day, trying to learn from the mistakes, learn from the game film. They're getting a lot of experience and reps with these game reps they got in the past few weeks. So just learning from that, continuing to grow. I feel like with the experience they're getting, they're just going to keep on getting better.
Tyler Donahue.
Good afternoon, Ellis. Your class that came in 2017, you guys accomplished a lot together. One thing you haven't done is beat Ohio State. How important is that to you to cross off your list of what you did in college here in the Nittany Lions uniform?
That's huge. Obviously, Penn State, Ohio State games have been fun in the past, but it hasn't really came out our way. That's something that obviously, like you stated, we would like to change going forward. And it starts in practice. I mean, going 1-0 any week is an amazing feeling. So just have a great week of practice, great week of preparation, going 1-0 on Saturday. So everybody in the building would love that.
Any other questions for Ellis this afternoon? All right, perfect. Oh, go ahead, Tyler, go ahead.
Sorry, I muted myself there for a second. Hey, I know it didn't end up the way you wanted offensively and getting the points to win the game, but when Sean Clifford keeps getting up, we could tell, you know, he's wincing, he's hurting, and he keeps going back out there. Win or lose, what does it say about the guy?
Well, Sean's a competitor. He's tough. He loves football. He loves his team. And you can tell that whenever he plays a game. I feel like whenever he takes a field, he just embodies that and shows his true character.
Go ahead, Max.
Ellis, you know, obviously there's a lot of noise right now. How do you personally block out the noise? How much do you guys as a team lean on each other to kind of block that out? What does that say about your culture, especially in, you know, where the season's at right now?
Well, as a team, I feel like we just try to keep the main thing. And the main thing is ball. And going out there and just competing against each other, pushing each other to be better in practice and our preparations, and just everything else will take care of itself. We got to trust our process, what we've done to get us to this point, how hard we work, and continue to do that.
All right, Rob Aller, you can have the last question here.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Hey, how much did, just in deciding on Penn State, I know you had a connection with Robinson, but linebacker you and that whole tradition, how aware of it were you? And did it factor in? Is that just a constant thing that's preached there?
I was pretty aware. I was blessed to play in the Under Armour All-American game where LeVar Arrington was my position coach. So I felt like that was a pretty cool experience, at least my senior year of high school, of meeting a Penn State great, especially in my position, and kind of teach me about the history and tradition that we have here at the school.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. And thank you, Ellis, for your time as well.
Thank you. Appreciate you.